Everyone. My name is Pascal. Just to let you know that we are recording the session, so if you don't want to be seen, so please close your camera, but you're welcome to leave it open if you want. All microphones have been closed, and so we're asking you to maybe send your questions from the conversation chat button at the bottom, and Jill will address the question as we go along. If not, we're going to have plenty of time at the end to answer anyone's questions if you have any questions. So I'm going to share my screen so we have a little presentation for you. Here we go. All right, so let the single track party begin. We can't wait. We're very happy that you're here. Okay, thank you for coming, taking the time. Of course, first slide, how can we start with anything else than COVID? The regulations, so the sanitary measures. Basically, what the first thing we want to say is that everyone, we're part of a group that will be riding for a week. We need to be careful together as long, they have their eyes on us. They're allowing us to make the event. We're to deliver the event. We're very happy about that. But we want to make sure that no one takes any risk, because if ever something goes wrong, it's everybody that's going to pay for the group, and we don't want that to happen. So please be safe and make sure that if you have no symptom, it's fine. If you have any symptoms, please get tested, tell us about it, and we will manage with you. We strongly suggest you use a credit card for payment everywhere, so we avoid any contacts. And please play safe. Wash your hands and everything. I won't repeat that. I think you've heard enough. I think it's part of our life now, but we just want to make sure that that we play it safe. On the bike, we have some special measures for when we'll be on the bike. Basically, in the bus, for those who will be riding on the bus, you need to wear the mask at all times and respect social distancing in the bus. At the start of the race, you will have to wear your mask up to the start. In the feed zone, the feed zone are going to be 100% no contact. The service will be exclusively by the volunteers. They will fill your camelback. You will just hold your camelback or whatever, and they will fill it. But it will be no self-serve, and you will have to wear your mask at the feed zone. At the finish line, you will need to wear your mask until you leave the site. So if you go to the feed zone, you get your snack, the bike wash, mechanical service, first aid, whatever, to medical. If you go there, you will need to wear your mask. And when you leave the site, then you obey by the rules around which allows you not to wear your mask. And we will have zero tolerance. Because we want to thank you first for making the experience safe for everyone. We just want to have fun throughout the week. So please be safe and play it safe for everyone to enjoy the full week. Group Pentathlon, I want to introduce you to the team. This is a picture taken this morning when we had our last pre-race meeting. Group Pentathlon is a non-for-profit organization. We also organize the Pentathlon des Neiges, which is a major, the biggest winter multi-sport event in the world that we organize in the winter time with about 6,000 participants, 60,000 people attending. It's a big event. It's a fun event. But the team that's basically working full-time throughout the year with us. You got Vanessa and Gilles at the top left and top right, which is the marketing and communications group. So Gilles heads that team and Vanessa supports. So all the emails and everything you will get throughout the week will receive from Vanessa. Smiling Cynthia in the middle on the top there is operations manager. So basically she manages all the operation. Myself, I'm general manager, and I will be your MC for the most of the week. Marilus Ouellette, that most of you have exchanged with, either with Marilus or with Florence. They are at customer service. Basically, they're making sure your experience is okay, and they will be there all week to support you if you have anything. And Dominique, we shaded Dominique. We made it on purpose because he works in the shade all the time. He's production coordinator, so he basically delivers the stage for everyone. And that team is supported by a 6 local organizing committee that basically we ask local groups to organize the stages based on some very specific criteria that we give them to make sure that the experience is similar every day as far as logistics and everything. So you get familiar with the area and everything. So they're a group of 6 local organizing committee. They have 20 more staff that we are during the event, and more than 150 volunteers will be delivering the QSE this year. As far as the weather is concerned, that is as of yesterday. That has totally changed. It's very unstable lately, but basically 21 to 23 degrees with a maximum of 40% risk of rain. We cannot ask for better. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just perfect. So we just hope it stays that way. We will update throughout the week. Okay, now we get into the services. What we call we like to say that the experience is the Quebec single track experience is an experience on and off the bike. Not to quote one of the former participants, but and so these are the services we call what the experience of the bike. Base camp is now in the old port. That's basically the picture is taken from where we will camp, and basically that's the area where the camping is. And there's the stereo. So basically that's the complete end of east end of Quebec City. This is where base camp is. There's parking lots all over the place, and of course we will be camping there at the top. So the services offered at the camping zone: we have campus, we camping, we have breakfast on day 1 to 6, we have medical, we have massage, information desk, and parking for the people that are parking for the week. You see all the little parking signs that you see on the picture are, if you only coming for a few hours here and there, you might as well use those parking, because on the campsite, only the people with a week-long parking permit can park there. And at the stereo zone, we'll explain to you a little later what it is. We're going to look at all those services one by one later. The stereo, which is basically where we will meet all the time. This is where the registration will take place. This is where the bike deposit will be, the dinner on day 0 and 6, refreshments daily, yoga day 1, 3, and 5. So basically, this is where we will gather every day after the races, the stages. The camping, it's open from July 30th to August 7th. Your package, if you bought a camping package, it is valid for 7 nights. You can stay extra nights if you want. If you want to add up one night before, you can add one night before. If you want to arrive on the Friday, it's possible. There is no electricity, no water hookups. You have to be self-sufficient. There's showers and restrooms, of course, with heated water. Don't worry, there is a place to get water. We have a water fountain that's available. So you for those who are camping in tents that don't have water in their RV or whatever, there is a place to get water, of course. There's a covered chill zone. We have a bunch of tents that will be an area covered. If ever it rains or whatever, it's too much sun, you can go to the covered chill zone. There's no cooking area for the people in the tents. So basically, of course, in your van, whatever, you have your cooking gears, but for the people in the tents, there's no cooking area. Yeah, you're allowed to bring your small tent. When we mean small, it's not that small. We're talking about 12 by 12 or 3.5 meter by 3.5 meters, so sufficient size of tent. There's a charging station at the info desk where you can recharge your GPS, your phone, whatever you need at the end of the day. And of course, leave no valuables. We are right downtown, the historical area, right, the old city. It's an open area. So please leave no valuables in the tents, carry them with you, or put them in your car at least, whatever, but please leave no valuables in the tents. The information desk will be open daily until 9 p.m. It's at the camping. It's right next to the restrooms and showers. The parking, if you bought a camping pass, you have you can park one vehicle with if you are with a tent trailer or a trailer, you can park your vehicle. If you're in a tent, you have one vehicle, you can park your vehicle. But if you're 3 people using the same RV and you're coming with two extra vehicles, you need to buy a parking pass for the week. You can buy it online until July 28th at close to midnight. Massage is every night from the 1st to the 5th. So for the first 5 nights, it's at the camping zone. It's $40 for 20 minutes. You can pay with your credit card, no problem. You can book now. A lot of people have already booked. It's getting not packed, but we know it's going to be packed as usual. If it packs, we're going to try to maybe find maybe other massage therapists, but I doubt we will at this time. So make sure if you're expecting to need a massage that you book it as soon as possible. That presentation, of course, you will receive that presentation by mail, so you will be able to go back and find the links. Medical and physio interactive is basically they will be at the hub at the camping zone. You will be able to go to medical on top of course, at the stage, but at night you can go. They will be open for about 2 hours every night. And we will have a physiotherapist on site also every night. And the opening schedule will depend on the days, depending on what time we get back to the hub, but you will have that, you will see later at the, when we look at the whole schedule, but you will have that in your logbook. So the stereo zone, this is basically the stereo zone at the base camp is, and you will see later what they call that, the stereo zone. It's basically where we will gather all the time. So all the services will be supplied there. There's registration on day 0, souvenir shop on day 0 and 6, the barbecue dinner, the bike depot, yoga day 1, 2, and 5. Refreshments for the whole 7 days will be served there. At the Stereo Smith Cafe will be there with some Belga crafts beer. This is where the bus to the stages will leave from the stereo. From the camping to the stereo, it's about 100 meters. It's really, really close. And at the stereo, there's free Wi-Fi. So this is why we're going to use the stereo. So why is it called a stereo? Because there is a stereo. It's as simple as that. It's basically a place where people can play pétanque. And they called it the stereo because they put a stereo beside the pétanque field. Don't ask me why. This is how it is. So this is our stereo for the week. Day 0 registration. So registration is mandatory for everyone. You have about 6 or 7 or 8 different stations you need to go through. So give yourself some time. Please arrive early. If you don't want to wait in line, get as early as you will arrive, the better service you will have. So from noon to 4 o'clock, the bike deposit from noon to 4 o'clock for those who have taken the bike transportation. The boutique will be open from noon to 6. Refreshments and pétanque will be from noon to 8 o'clock at night, and dinner, the service of the dinner will be from 6 to 6:45. But of course, you can take all the time in the world to eat and relax after. Souvenir shop at the stereo from day 0 to at day 0 and day 6. It won't be open throughout the week. If you need something, you come to the info desk and we'll try to help you with that. Refreshments, pétanque, like I said, Maison Smith will be there and Belle Gueule every night at the stereo, depending on the weather. Of course, if it's crappy weather, they won't open. Every day at the finish line, of course, you will have refreshments also from Maison Smith with beer and whatever you would need. Meals, barbecue dinner, day 0 and day 6. Breakfast box from the 1st to the 6th will be delivered at the camping. It is a vegan option. You need to book online until most people have already booked, but if you haven't, please make sure book your dinners and your meals, because it's only available on pre-sale. It will not be available on site. Or if you're coming with your wife, your family, and you want to have extra tickets, please make sure you buy them before Wednesday midnight. There's yoga. Mireille Massé is world famous for sports recuperation yoga. She's incredibly good. For those who were there in 2019, they love the yoga with Mireille. It's a free service that will be available on day 1, 3, and 5 at the stereo. The schedule will be in the logbook. Of course, bring your mat and your towel for the yoga. Radio QSE. Radio QSE, Gilles and I will be animating Radio QSE every night around 5 p.m., 5:30 on the days that we arrive later. So basically, it's a live Facebook. It will be bilingual, of course, and we'll have daily recaps and leaders, fun facts. Bring them in, please. If you see anything funny, if you've made something funny, bring them in so we can share them with everyone. And we'll have a quick look at the next stage, or if there's any changes. It will be a brief 20-minute or something Facebook Live session. And minutes after, we will share the Facebook Live. If you miss it at 5, then you will be able to look at it later. It will be important that you have a look at it, or that you make sure that you read, and not or I would say, and that you read the emails. Every night we will send you a personalized email. So please check your emails, check your spam or your advert box, because it seems more and more the minute it's more and more it seems we're ending up in the spams or whatever. So make sure that you check your spam, because every night we will send an email with directions to the next stage and all sort of information if there's any changes, whatever, what time will be yoga and things like that. The information for the next day will be you will receive either through Radio QSE or through a personalized email that Vanessa will send you every night. Okay, bike services. What are the bike services? This is the schedule of the week. Schedule for 2021. So basically the stages will start from either 9:30 to 10 o'clock. The bus will leave around 7:25 to about 8 o'clock, and you get medical assistance. So all of that will be in your logbook. I won't take too much time today to have a look at that, but basically all that information will be in your logbook that you will get most probably on Wednesday on an email. We delayed the logbook because by adding up more services, we decided instead of sending you an incomplete logbook that we would, take a step back, complete the logbook. So this is a year like that. Everything is like a day to day. We go and add up stuff and we change and we update. So it's we focused 100% on the beginning on the stages, the bike trails and things like that. And now with the time we're adding up services. It's been crazy, but we're still having fun doing it. We hope you will have fun. I'm sure you will. So the feed zone, you'll have liquids, water and Gatorade or whatever, fruits and fig bars. So it's now, like we said before, no contact, service by the volunteers, no self-serve. There will be 1 or 2 feed zones on the trails depending on the length of the stage. And of course, there will be 1 at the finish line. No feed zone at the start. So if you want to drink something, if you want to have more food, make sure you bring extra food to eat before the start. If you've driven, you've driven for an hour and a half, make sure you take some extra food with you so you're ready for the race. Smith post-race snack. I say a snack is a snack. It's not a meal. It's not a full meal. It's a small snack that we will offer you daily to make sure you can you get the feed zone and then you get your snack. You can go and have refreshments. They will be selling beer and whatever you need. Smith Cafe will be there, but every day a small snack will be offered by Smith Cafe at the finish line. Bike transport, you can book it online still. You will need to go to the bike depot at the stereo from noon to 4 o'clock to maybe you put your once you registered, you put your bike plate, everything on your bike, and then you will be able to drop your bike, and then we will manage your bike for the whole week. You will pick up your bike in the morning at the start. Matt will be there with his truck with the bikes, and will be and once you finish your race, you can go to Wash and Lube. If you don't buy the Wash and Lube an inspect package from Spheric, you can go to Wash and Lube, wash your bike, and then bring your bike to logistics as soon as you're finished. Post-race, after the race, after day 6, you will be able to pick up your bike at camping from 3:30 in the afternoon to 5:30 in the afternoon, or on day 7 on the Saturday morning from 9 to 11. If you need transportation for yourself to the stage, you can still book it. It's limited, of course, because of social distancing, but there is still a few spots available, so you can book it until Wednesday night, 11:59 p.m. A lot of you guys have already booked it, so we'll give you more details on how it works. So the schedule will be in your logbook, but you will get it in the email also. And the daily bill pickup will be at the stereo and then at l'adresse at 401 Grand Allée. L'adresse is a loft hotel. So a lot of people are staying there. So they basically, these are the two spots that we will go through. And this is how it looks on the map. As you see, most of the hotels are close to the stereo, the walking distance. So the bus will leave from the stereo and then drive to l'adresse Château Laurier on Grand Allée. And so the stereo is what we call the lower city, and then he's gonna climb the hill and go to the upper city at l'adresse for the second pickup. So book it online if you want transportation. I think it's the best way to not to pack and take your car every day, whatever. I think it's the best investment you can make by getting on the bus every day. Wash, Inspect, and Lube by Spheric. Spheric, our bar partner for the next 4 years. It's a local manufacturer of bikes, incredible bikes. They offer you the package. You can book online still. It's very limited. I think there's 5 or 7 spots left. They have a maximum capacity that they can basically wash and inspect and lube at night. So and the way it works, if you buy that package, once you cross the finish line, you just go drop your bike to Spheric, and they will manage everything, and they will be in touch with you if they find anything wrong with your bike. But they will manage that for you, and you will just pick up your bike the next day, so you can go and enjoy yourself, not wondering about going washing your bike and lubing your bike. They will manage that for you. Very popular service, and again, it's limited. If not, there's a self-serve wash and lube that's close to the finish line, and so you can go wash your bike, lube it, and if you need tools, there's tool boards that you can use the tools to get your bike ready. And once your bike is all set for the next day, you put it on in your car, or you hand it to logistics, so they manage. Please don't leave your bike unattended at the finish line. We've never had any problems, but we don't want any. Make sure you take, especially with the rarity of bikes. So you make sure that you keep your bike safe. Spheric will also be there for mechanical services. If you have problem throughout the week with your bike, at the finish line, you go visit them. They will make an estimation for you. They will talk to you, see what's the problem with the bike, try to see if they can fix it right out there on the spot. But if not, basically they will open a work order and make an estimation. Of course, they will be in touch with you. If they find something wrong, they will call you, and they will fix your bike during the night. So you pick up the bike at the start on the next day, and that you're all set for the race. You will need, one of the stations you will go through at registration is the bike registration. You need to go through Spheric, fill in basically a little form that you have. They will register, know what your bike, you have your phone number, if ever, so everything, a sample of your credit card to make sure that basically you don't have to worry about getting your bike fixed throughout the week. And very important advice, bring as many spare parts as possible. We all know about the difficulty of finding parts. I hope you don't have any problems with your bike, but I've seen people that broke their bike in the spring and they still can't fix them because they can't find the parts. So Spheric has some parts. They don't have nearly as many as they would have liked. So bring any spare parts as possible. They're in contact with other bike shops. There's a very, very tight community, and everybody's helping themselves, but if they can, they will try to find the parts. It's the same. Usually we have a fleet of demo bikes available. Nobody's got demo fleets this year. So if you break your bike, we're going to find a way to find you a bike. We'll get on the phone. We are in touch with a different station to find bikes, but we will deploy our best efforts to make sure that if you have a major break on your bike, that you're at the start the next day. But please bring parts if you have any spare parts at home. Okay, what's wrong here? Okay, we are. The squads. The squad is basically it's a team of riders with you on the trails. They're linked to medical by radio. They are your first contact on the trails, and for some of you, they will become your best friends. And they are our eyes on the trail. So basically, their role is just to make sure everybody's having fun on the trails, and they can even some of you that have been there in the past for the people that are just riding the trail, not racing the trails. They can even help you with lines and some advice. Some of them are very, very strong riders, and they can help you improve your experience. But basically, they're all over the place. They are at the front, at the middle, at the back, and they're there to help you. And again, they're volunteers, and they're having the fun riding with you guys. Medical, they have a full team, fully equipped along the trails. It's one of the most important expense for us, but we don't want them to work. We want them to be there for nothing. Of course, we want them just to be there and relax and enjoy the QSE. But we deploy a lot of efforts to make sure that you're safe on the trail. There is one of them at each feed zone. There's one of them at each start and finish line. And of course, there's Benoit that is going to be at the campground at night with a physiotherapist. And it's a free service, so use it. You know, like if there's anything wrong, scratches, whatever, they will go see them. They'll clean it. They'll help you in any way they can. So we want to make sure that you're safe on the trails. Look at this scene. We will be riding that trail. It's a new trail called the Legend that they opened last year. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, let's look at the experience on the bike. First and foremost, code of ethics, very important to us. First thing we're saying, greet and thank the volunteers as you ride by them. I say that 300 times a year. Without volunteers, there's no event. So please make sure you thank them and be polite to them. They are volunteers. And be polite to anyone anyways, but especially to the volunteers. We ride for pleasure, first and foremost. Be respectful, polite, and courteous. Always ride in control and take the time to look at signage and landscape, of course. You have an obligation to stop and help any person injured or in a dangerous situation. Please notify a member of the medical team or the squad as quickly as possible. If you stop to help for an emergency, the lost time will be compensated. A mechanical failure is not an emergency, all right? And if the guy or the girl looks good, it's not an emergency, okay? So make sure that you respect that. At any time, you may come across pedestrians, other cyclists, cars, canoeists, the trucks, whatever. You must always put safety above your race results. I think that says it all right? Riders must always respect traffic regulations and follow the instruction of the police officials and volunteers on the circuit. The trails are not exclusive to us. On some of the bike networks close for the day for us. Most of them don't. So they're open to the public. So please be polite. They also have rights to the trail. The health of the bikers is more important than your rankings. You will feel better about yourself and you will get much more recognition for helping someone than if you try to win the race by ignoring a participant who needs assistance. Please politely ask to pass when it is safe to do so, and be patient. Remember to thank the riders who let you overtake. A technical descent is not a safe place to ask for the track, even if it's a timed descent. It's part of the race to have traffic, okay? If you need to stop for repairs or any other reason, want to go take a picture or whatever, please move out of the way with your bike to leave a free track for the other riders. However, you must remain visible from the trail. Having a bad day can be part of the journey. That definition of the experience also includes, the definition of experience also includes that chapter, all right? I go back to the point before, if you're just riding, having fun, you want to go take a picture, and you leave the trail, leave your bike next to the trail so the squad that are closing will see there's a bike there with a Quebec single track experience plate at the front. So they will stop and they will look for you. But don't leave the trail without having someone being able to see you. Mandatory material. It's that's a post that one of the writers made last week on his Facebook page. When we saw it, we said, well, the pictures. So we will put it there. So you need your certified helmet, plug dead bar ends, whistle, a minimum of 1.5 liter water at the start, waterproof matches or a lighter, raincoat or windbreaker, emergency food, emergency blanket, multi-tool, quick link, spare tube, tire levers, pump or CO2 cartridge with a charger, and of course, a mask. So, and we're telling you, there will be checkups. There's always checkups. You will meet Pierrette, which is our commissioner. She will make checks. And if you don't have the stuff when she asks for it, you will not be able to continue or take to start the day. So we're not joking with that. It's a question of safety. So please make sure you have the mandatory material. Okay, directions. Totally new approach. Warning. If you're going down a hill, you're going fast, you will have a warning sign to the right telling you that something's coming on. And at that place, you will have an arrow to the right that will give you the direction where to go. And right after the intersection, you will have a confirmation. It will be either an arrow or a flag to the right. And there will recalls on a regular basis that will tell you that basically you are on the right path. So we suggest that you download Trail Forks. You look for the Quebec Single Track event. It's another safety measure that will basically you will be able, even if we're out of network for your cell phone, if you have Trail Forks on your phone, you will still be able to see the path and see where you are if ever you get lost. We never lost anyone, but we're never too safe. So how does that, all of those things look? So basically you see the arrows going forward, left or right. They will be like a car. They will be always to your right. So I may be going down a hill and I see an arrow pointing to the left telling me, okay, I will soon have to turn left. At the point where you turn, you will have an arrow again to the right telling you to turn left. And right after you turn left, you will have a confirmation, either an arrow telling you to go straight forward, or if we don't have room for an arrow, you will have a little confirmation flag at the bottom, like we see on the right there, that will be on the ground. So basically, like a car, all the signage is to the right. And if you see, of course, a pink X, and it's telling you, don't go there, you're the wrong way. So when I say recall or confirmation, everywhere where you have to make a decision, usually right after that corner or that decision you make, there's a confirmation flag. And every 3 or 4 minutes, depending on your speed, you should see a confirmation, either an arrow again or a flag. If you've been riding for 7, 8, 10 minutes and you haven't seen something, turn around, come back until you see you see a flag or an arrow telling you where to go. All right, because there is the trails are marked, and in the morning there's always a group of a squad riding very early in the morning. They're riding the trails to make sure that everything is okay. All right. So if you have, I see some questions there, people raising their hand. I say, please write your questions in the comments, or at the end, once we get to the end, we'll open the microphone so you can be able to ask the questions. And we may go back if we want to the presentation. There's also, like, there's some warnings or other information that you can, so direction is always in pink, and where you have other signs, our signs are always identified with the Quebec Single Track Experience logo. So we may give you more information on those blue signs, like for this time ascent begins in 200 meters. So there is this more funny signs sometimes like that all over the place. And also in each of the different destinations, there's also some safety signs, like you see on this over here telling you that, okay, there's a hazard, it's an expert trail, there's a drop, whatever. So those signs remain valid. So directions always in pink. And if there's an arrow in whatever another color, and a sign of whatever another color for directions, it's not ours. Don't follow it, because there's a trail network. You can have different signage, but for directions, it's always our pink arrows. You also see some heritage signs like this. It's just to let you know what it is. The group Pentathlon is a non-for-profit organization. Every money that we get from our events are returned to the community, either to a charity for a pentathlon event, but for the Quebec single track experience, all the money is returned to the trails. So through every year, since the first year, the Quebec single track experience, basically we help develop the trails to bonify your experience, and that heritage remains to the public. I don't have to tell you there will be no heritage program this year because the Quebec single track experience is very, let's say, I would say very, very far from making money this year. But it's what's important that we want to tell you is even if we're losing money this year, it was as planned. The board of directors have accepted that, and they're very happy that we delivered the event. But the first thing they said to us, if you deliver, you respect the quality. So we're not cutting on quality, especially on the trails. As far as the other services, we're doing our best to try to add up services. But as far as the trails and the rides, they will be as good as it always been, if not better. All right, so now for the stages, your stages. I'm not going to take a lot of time on the stages because they are accessible. Basically, these are all captions from Trail Forks, so you can go and have a look on Trail Forks. The trails are available, but we just quickly go have a look at the different stage. Day one, presented by Port de Québec, the Quebec port, is Vallée-Bras-du-Nord, Saint-Raymond, 27 kilometers, 663 meters of climbing. It's basically two little mountains that we connect together by different trails. It's basically you will find there 100% of what you will find throughout the week. It's very, there's everything there, from tight single track, big berms, wooded gangways. There's everything there. It's a very funky place. I really like. I think it's a perfect place to start the week. And the way we do the start on day one, as people are not positioned by their speed, is basically we always leave and we have a 3 or 4 kilometer at the start in a large trail, so people can position themselves. So when we enter the single track, so we make sure that when we get to the single track, that you have room to ride. Day two, Mont Saint-Anne, 41 kilometer, 845 meters of climb, and 1,500 meters of descent. Why? Is because once you get to Mont Saint-Anne, you will pick up your bike. If you have logistics, you will get to the gondola. We'll show you the way. You will use the main parking of the Mont Saint-Anne, and then we'll take the gondola to up the mountain, because we start the stage from the top of the mountain. Fantastic view from up there. It's a very popular stage for pictures and sharing. Of course, it's Mont Saint-Anne where the World Cup has started, so it's epic, and it's a fantastic stage. It's a tough stage. I don't know why I have doubts on the 845 meters, and we'll be able to confirm once we get to the end of the day. As far as the descents and the elevation, just for your experience, I've run one of the stage once with 3 different GPS and Trail Forks and Strava. All 5 gave me different results. So what we're using there is what Trail Forks is giving us. So don't tell us after day one that our distance and elevation is not good, because if you do so, you have to pay around to everyone, because we know it's not everybody's going to come up to with the same results. So if you want to pay around to everyone, come and talk to us about distance and elevation. We're close to reality, but there may be some variations. Day 3, Empire 47, Lac de Lage, presented by Spheric. Short but tough. That's what I can tell you. It's a tough. For those who've ridden that trail before, well, we've added a lot of trails. They're developing. They had 8 different backhoe working on the trails when I was there 3 weeks ago. It's crazy. There's so much stuff going there at Empire 47, but elevation 913 meters for 26 meters, so it's going to be a tough stage. and it's there's so much to talk about, like the Lage. It's going to be amazing. Massif de Charlevoix, the new stage for this year. It's a special stage. I'll take a little bit more time on that stage. The red section is on the stage is the climb. The green section is a time descent. The yellow sections are not time. So you can take your time from the red section to the green section. And after the green section, on the first, there's basically 2 descents. Between the 2 descents, you will need to take a chair up to the mountain to start your second descent. It's a bit more like an enduro, that stage. So you have the first part, which is like an easy, very, very fast and flowy. What they've built there, it's absolutely world-class and unique. It's you'll be amazed at what you will ride there. I've done it twice, and I'm still amazed about what they've done, the views and everything. So basically, it's like 2 descents. The first one includes a time ascent, and again, the yellow section are untimed. So once you finish, the finish is the same place for both descents, and the feed zone will be at the bottom of that descent. And just to give you an idea what it looks like, it's basically 11 kilometers of that. The first descent. It's absolutely unique. It's very, very fast, very flowy, not technical, but so much fun. So for if you want speed, you will have your arms tired for braking at the end of that stage. Day 5, Vallée Bras Nord, Shanahan, presented by Belle Crafts Beer. World famous Nelson Trail, designed by Gilles Morneau, that is part of our group, and basically that's what you'll see all day, with falls and cascades all along the Nelson Trail, the new Legend Trail that you saw a little earlier. Shorter stage this year because of COVID-19. We could not drive everyone on the bus to Guat Lake, unfortunately, but it's going to be a stage that you will remember for the rest of your life. Sentier du Moulin, Smith Cafe, 30 kilometers, but again, almost 1,000 meters of climbing. So it's going to be a tough one again. Some fantastic new trails. Maelstrom is there, so it's going to be absolutely fantastic and a lot of fun to ride. More technical, but a lot of fun. Like Sentier du Moulin is the paradise for enduro, but we're not riding the double black diamonds. We're using all of their cross country trails but still a lot of rocks, a lot of everything. So it's you will enjoy it. So and again, on most days, for those who only want to ride, we don't usually make cutoffs, but at some point we strongly suggest that you use the shortcut. Every day there's a shortcut. So depending on the time you get to the feed zone, we will tell you, well, use the shortcut. If not, you will have the squad at your back pushing you all day. But usually you have the time to complete your stage. We want to make sure that you enjoy the experience as much as possible. Day 6, dinner and award ceremony. So there will be animation at the stereo from 3 to 9. The boutique will be open for the second time from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're going to be the awards ceremony from 5:30 to 6:30 to get your official Quebecer shirt. And the service will be from 6:30 to 7:15. And again, make sure that for the dinners, for the meals especially, book your ticket before Wednesday night, because you won't be able to buy a ticket on site. All right? So this is what we had for you today before we go to the question. Before we open the microphones, did we have some questions in writing that we need to answer right now?
Dan Siebel has his hand raised since the beginning. I don't know if he asked his questions on the sidebar, but Dan, you can go ahead.
All my questions were answered. Thank you so much.
Okay, excellent.
That's excellent. I like that. I hope Dan is going to be like that all week. That whenever you want to come and ask for something that it will arrive on your plate. I just hope it's going to happen like that all week. Any other questions? You can open your microphone if you want and write to us questions about whatever questions. They're all good questions, and we're ready to answer them.
I have a few questions lots of questions have been answered as far as they were asked, but I kept a few for you, Francois. We have a question. What type of food will there be in the breakfast?
It's a complete. It's a cold. Basically it's a basket. It's a box. So we don't have a hot meal for breakfast, but it's a full meal with a juice, with a fruit, with something bulky for the day. We made sure that those meals. Well, I don't have the exact menu. I'm meeting with Smith tomorrow, but we made sure that basically the owner of Smith is a very, very strong writer. He knows what the people need for food to last for a day. So I know on the first year or the second year of QSE, some of the people said that breakfast was very, very fancy, but a little bit light. But we want to make sure that the food that you have is bulky for the day, that you will be able to stand the day with your meal.
All right, we have another question. Can we swap 2 bikes if we have 2 bikes?
I'm sorry. If you're just doing the ride, you can switch bike along the week. I think we can manage that. If you are racing, as we are sanctioned by FQSE, which UCI rules, you need to use the same bike all week. If you break your bike, you have a problem with your bike on the week. Our commissioner, of course, if you break your bike along the way, you will probably lose so much time that you will not be able to win the race. We will find a way that you'll be able to ride on the next day, but you cannot change the bike just to say, okay, it's the Enduro. I'm taking my Enduro bike today and I'm coming back with my other bike on the next day. You cannot do that.
Okay. Francois, if we want to have a massage and we come with our car, do we have to pay for the parking?
Yes, we're downtown. That's the bad side of being downtown. It's how you need to park, and the parking in Quebec City is not that expensive. So it's because you can park for just a few minutes. Take an hour parking if you have a meeting. So, but if you and right beside the campsite, there's tons of parking.
Okay. Francois, some people are worried that they will finish last and that everybody will have to wait to take the bus.
Well, again, as I said, the squad will be with you all day, and if you're at the back, you will be riding with the squad. They will not push you. They will entertain you. They will help you find the right lines. And if they see that basically you will be taking too much time, they will strongly suggest at some point that you use the shortcut. Because on most days, on the longer days, there are some shortcuts. But it's okay. Usually we never had any problem with the people at the back. Some of you are coming back this year. And I would just say a comment. Most of the people that, a lot of people, I would say, that are coming back is people that have ridden at the back because they said, I love that event because I can ride at my pace and without being pushed, and I can manage to get to the end, and everybody's, welcomes you at the end. This year with the buses, it may be a little bit more complicated because we don't have 3 or 4 buses like we normally have. So because we have a smaller group, we have 80 riders at the start. So people, that come first, they can have a beer, they can go for a swim, they can, basically take their time, and they will wait for you. We're all going to get to the end of the week at this together.
Great. Ray Vermette has a lot of good questions. First,
go ahead.
What do we need to bring to registration? ID, mandatory gear?
No, you don't have to bring your gears. You don't have to bring ideas or whatever. Basically, you need to come up with your name, and so we will supply the stuff at day 0. Because there's a lot of stations to go through. You need to fill in for there's a lot of documents to be filled, confirming your medical, everything that you need around the event. But you don't need to bring you don't need to bring your mandatory gear. You will have to sign a paper confirming that you will carry that stuff all week, and we will make sure on the next day that you do have it. But you don't have to bring your gears at the on day 0.
Same thing for the bike. You don't have to bring your bike. Only if you want to give us your bike, so we transport it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you don't have to bring the bike. We don't want to see your bike before the race.
Yeah, if you're riding, and basically if you have bike logistics, yes, you need to bring it on day 0. If not, you can come around. But we don't have a bike parking lot, so you will have to lock your bike on one of the fences there, but or leave it just right beside. But you're responsible for your bike.
What about the race license, Francois?
You don't need a license to race Quebec Single Track Experience. Basically, so but you will have for all the Quebecers, not the Quebikers, but the people from Quebec. FQSE asked us to fill in the form, but we cover that. We cover all the expenses for that. We pay the license to everyone, part of your registration. So you don't need a UCI license. You don't need anything.
Another really good question from Ray. I think I have the answer, but I'll let you find it. On trails with optional difficult lines like the Belzebrut, will the options be part of the race? Or do we flag only the easy options, or do we leave open the hard option?
Well, honestly, I think it will all depend. If we feel the hard option is safe, we will let you ride it. We will basically, you will have the option. We will not put a direction flag. But if we close the A line, then we will close it. We will put an X and we will flag it so you go to the B line. But if both lines are open, Like Belzebrut is a good example, where there's a place where there's a few drops and there's a few stuff, but the signage is there. It says drop. If you go there, there's a drop. So use the B line, but the A line and B line are quite clear. So you will always have the option, unless we decide that one line is too dangerous and we don't want anybody to go there, then we will close it.
Aid station. Okay, Francois, do we need 1.5 exactly liters of water to start every stage?
Yes, sir.
Wasn't it only for the Sainte-Anne and Shanahan?
That's what it was before, but it's not that anymore. So we made it easy. It's 1.5 liter because the smaller stages that we had before are longer now. So the two shortest stage that we had in the past are now the 2 stages with more elevation. So you need water. So we made it standard for everyone. It's 1.5 liter at the start.
Okay. Do the routes change in case of rain?
It may change. Everything can happen. This is why we're saying attend the live Facebook radio QSE every night, and make sure you check your emails. Everything can happen. We have a thunderstorm. We had a tree fall in a trail about 15 minutes before the race one day. Everything can happen. The routes can change. We always have B plans because we're using some very new trails that if they're dry, we will ride them. But if you have major rainstorm, we may have to bypass them, not to destroy them. But it's going to be nice and sunny.
Ini asks us what is the status of the trails right now with the recent rains.
I've spoke to people at Le Massif today, and they said the trails were great. So, and I've had friends. I did not ride last weekend, but I had friends that rode that were on the trails Saturday, and the trails were amazing. I don't know, Gilles, if you've ridden last. Oh, you were not on the trails last weekend, but as of today, I think everything's fine.
It's a bit on the wet side. You will have some puddles of mud. It's not like it was in June where it was too dry and all loose stuff and dust, but it's a bit on the wet side, but everything is rideable and fun. So I'll go with another questions. Moira asked us if she has to bring bubble wrap for the bike to protect it while we transport it.
No, we have cartridge that we use. We have a double-sided cartridge that we use, cardboards that we use for transportation.
Good. Are you able to give us a sense of what food liquid is at the aid stations, or will it vary with each stage?
Well, for sure there will be water, of course. There will be maple water also from maple tree, and most probably we'll have Gatorade or something like that. I didn't check out exactly what Dominic has brought to the equation, but there will be water and probably Gatorade and some maple water. I don't know if you've tried maple water before. It's great for riding, but yeah, that's going to be it.
What about the food?
Food, again, like I said, fruits and fig bars.
Good.
So that's what you will find there. Maybe a couple of little surprises, some dairy in there, some candies and things like that. But it's going to be mainly fig bars. For sure, you will have fig bars every day and some fruits.
We also have a question. Will the locations of the aid stations be put on the trade fork maps? I think they are already there, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, usually they are there. Yeah, since it's confirming they are on the trail forks.
Good. Ça, on l'a fait. Just let me check if we answered every questions.
If there's any other questions, you can open your microphone and ask the question live if you want. And again, if you have any questions throughout the week, info@quebecsingletrack.com. We will answer that. We're quite efficient on answering, and of course, on day 0, we will be able to answer all the questions if you have any other questions.
Oh, will there be opportunity to swim in Lac de Lage, François?
No.
No, it's not permitted.
Lac de Lage is not a public. Even the people at the hotel cannot swim the lake anymore. So it's very, very, very protected, and it's not. We're not able to. Unfortunately, it's. I'm so sad because I'm a swimmer myself now, and I would love to go swim there here and there, but I can't. So it's not. No, you can't swim Lac de Lage. You will be able to swim at Chanahan and in the river. Where else? I think that's it.
Okay. Will there be maple liquor?
I don't know. Of course, there are some surprises. Yeah, some people remember Sentier-du-Moulin, not Sentier-du-Moulin, but 47 a couple of years ago, where you had maple shot of maple whiskey or something like that just before at the end. I don't know. Some surprises are on the way, I guess. Each and every local organizing committee is preparing surprises, and they are surprises to us. Okay, like we're pushing them to animate the circuits, but we don't know what's going on, so we can't wait to see.
Like in the French, we have the same question. Like in the French meeting, will we post a start list before the start of the race?
No, we won't, and we make that on purpose because we basically we want you. It's not that we do on purpose. It's because basically we have a group of 80 people. About 50% of the group that were registered have moved to 2022. Most of them Europeans, Americans, whatever, because they could not come to. A lot of them we still wanted to participate this year, so we have a small group this year. So it's going to be quite unique. I think it's with post-COVID. I like to call it post-COVID, but I think it's going to be amazing. But no, there won't be a start list. You will find out after day 1 if you do your best against who you will be racing. And we like it that way. You can add it to the comment if you don't like it, but I think it has served us in the past, and we kind of like that idea that you're getting the surprise. You do your best, and then you get the surprises.
Good. So we have answered all questions, and it's fun to read all your good words in the comments section, because you seem to understand that we have been working really hard in the past weeks to deliver this event. So it's really appreciated that all your good comments.
Yeah, and we'll have fun chatting throughout the week when we get to the stereo at night, having a Belle Gueule beer or whatever, because there's so many stories we can tell you about how it's been crazy. I'm sure you've all been through some crazy stories also that you will be able to share, but we're just happy that we can deliver the event. We want it to be a safe event. We just want you to come back home with some great souvenirs, and I see some faces that I already know that I've seen in the past that are part of the. I see Kim and I see Bevan and all these groups. So I can't wait to see you again, guys. But honestly, the trails were fantastic in the past, but the trails that they've added on in the last 20 months is just crazy. It's just crazy, and it keeps coming, and there will be more and more. So as far as the ride is concerned, I'm so excited. As far as all the services around, there'll all be some screw ups because we're trying to get everything to work and to glue together. But we will deploy our best efforts, and I'm sure we're just going to have a lot of fun about it. And if there's anything, you just come to us. We'll be at the info desk, and you send us an email, and we will make sure we correct the situation if there's anything wrong. So, Bal, thank you very much, everyone. Can't wait to see you. Some of you guys are arriving on Friday. Most of you guys are arriving on Saturday, but we will be at the campsite starting Friday. We will be there. If you're in town, come and say hello. We will be around, and with social distancing, of course. And we can't wait to see you guys. So thank you very much for your time. And again, you will receive an email with that presentation, so you can have a look at it and share it with some of the people that could not attend. And just enjoy the ride.